Hello, welcome back to my channel, Becker's Models. For want of a better title, it's my modelling. Alright, it's been more than 12 months since I've done a video. What have I been doing? What have I been up to? Well, to be honest, last 12 months been sort of flat, sort of life, work, the whole lot, and modelling, and it's been quite interesting, and it culminated a few months ago, just after I got back from holidays. Had a wonderful holiday in the Cook Islands. My work changed completely, and I had to really double down on my work. I'm still pushing through that, but that break, I literally had a massive break in modelling. I couldn't do anything for a while, and it really stuffed me around. So it got to me thinking. It was leading up to the holidays, and then there was a competition. We do a statewide competition, QMHE. I might have done one or two videos on the channel a couple of years back. I had a few revelations about what I want to do with my modelling, and that just happened just before this work thing was shoved on my shoulders. So just thought I'd share my thoughts today. Quick video, just an update, where am I going, why am I back on YouTube. I can thank Harry for that, Harry Houdini, go check him out. Yeah, so let's get into it. Now, what are the revelations I had? I had three major ones. First of all, and this was partly something that's been brewing for a while, and then partly something my wife said to me just one time. She goes, "Why are you building these tanks? They're just these sort of lifeless things that just sort of sit there." And I'm like, yeah. So I've stopped doing armour, more or less. I might have one or two more up my sleeve. I've sold off almost all my armour kits. I think I might have less than 10 sitting around in the cupboard behind me here. I just found I wasn't getting any enjoyment out of them. I was just like, okay, they're a killing machine, basically, more or less. I'm not a pacifist, but it just didn't get to me, and that brought me on to my second revelation, which is, I'm just into this hobby for the enjoyment of it. I started doing it for aircraft, and in fact, it's funny, just sitting over there off camera is the first model I did 4 or 5 years ago, Airfix Spitfire. My son, my 6-year-old son, he just started building that exact model. And sitting down with him over the summer break's been fantastic. I just remembered how much I've enjoyed building aircraft. So that was the second one. I just want to get the enjoyment back in the hobby of just doing it, and that means not impressing or not trying to copy other people's techniques or to be so caught up in all the social media, the Facebook, and seeing everybody else's build to go, oh, I wish I could do that, I wish I could be as good as that guy. I mean, I've talked about this before, but it's a hobby, and yes, and you should strive to improve yourself as you go along, but don't get mired down the fact you can't do a certain thing. Someone had a friend of mine, was it Tom? I think it was Tom or somebody else, put up a really good blog post describing how there's that gap between where you are now and where you want to be, and you're trying to fill that gap. And if you don't have any enjoyment in what you're doing, it's really hard to fill that gap between your skill level here and building it up to here. So there you go. That's the second revelation. I'm rabbiting on. You can tell I haven't been on YouTube for a while. Third one, and the final one, and this led up to the competition, QMHE, back in August. But they're great. I really love competitions. I love putting models in. I love seeing everybody else's entries. I love seeing all the people there, and getting recognised by people saying, "Hey Chris, why haven't you been on YouTube for a year or so?" And I love all that. But every time I entered, I found myself like, when you've got enough butter, you're spreading on the toast, you're trying to spread it so thin. That's what I was doing. I'd be up to 2 AM the night before trying to finish something, and I'd think, oh god, that's shit what I've just finished. I've just rushed it. And one of those projects, which the year before, which was the Zvezda Star Destroyer that I modified heavily, I mean, I rushed it. I was up to 2 AM in the morning trying to get the finishing touches on that, and it was not good. Didn't even place. I put it in the wrong category. That's a whole other story. So this year I redid it. I repainted it. I remade a whole new base for it. I spent time and effort and just slowly built it up to the standard I wanted, and hey, it did pretty well. I think I can't remember, bronze or something in its category, so I'm happy with that. So with the competition thing, I love the competitions, and I'm still going to enter them, but I'm not going to do it as for the competition. It's just going to be, if I've got a model finished and a competition rolls around, I'm going to put it in. And instead of having, I had averaged 10 or 12 entries per competition because I just wanted to shove them in. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'm just going to pare it down to maybe a couple, 3 or 4, 5 maybe tops. So there are my three revelations I had before this work thing kicked me upside the head, and so that's what's going to spur me on to the next thing, and that's why I'm back here on YouTube. Before I start talking about YouTube, I haven't been doing nothing. If you go to my Facebook page, I'll put the link in the description. I have been doing a few things, okay? And I recently, just a few days ago, I just finished this P-47. Now this, this is the first aircraft model I've done wheels down, other way around, Chris, in over 2 years, okay? So this was a real fun Tamiya P-47, strictly out of the box. All that's painted. I think there's only a couple of decals. I'll put some pictures up if I get the time to do it. That was fun. It was really good. Again, I pushed myself too hard and it did too much, and I'm not that happy, but hey, it's good enough. And it's the Razorback P-47 only looks good wheels down. I mean, in flight it just looks silly. The other thing I did, and as a stretch, because I've been doing a lot of experiments, because one of the things when you find yourself in a flat space, you're not enjoying things, you try everything and you buy everything. My stash went to ridiculous levels, and I recently sold off almost half of it. So one thing I tried was some figure painting, and so you probably can't see it, and he's much more attractive than me, Tom Hardy, the Dunkirk pilot. Again, I'll see if we can get some photos up. So that was really good fun. Shout out to Aaron, Aaron the Duck, who helped me with figures. It's oils over acrylics. So that was really good, because in the end I can find myself feeling really confident that I can paint pilots now, but not 110 scale, maybe 132, 148. So yeah, I have been doing a few things. I finished I think 10 models in the last 12 months. Again, I'll try to put some photos up here if I can today, or on my Facebook page. I have actually been updating all the photos of things I've done, so check them out. So, why am I back here on YouTube? I don't know, is the answer. No, the real answer is I do know the answer. It was a long chat I had with Harry Houdini, who has got a fantastic channel. I always watch all his videos. I'm biased because he's a very good friend of mine, but he gets a lot of enjoyment out of his channel, and you think, well, you put a lot of effort into filming these videos, editing them, might even edit out the way I said editing then, and just getting it out there. And I thought, well, what do you do it for? Do you do it for the likes? I asked him, do you do it for the subscription numbers? Do you do it for the money? I mean, you can earn a little bit of money, it's just spare change really, unless you're someone like David at Plasmo. He's probably getting a good living out of his videos, and good on him, they're really good. Well, really it's about connecting, and one of the things I've felt flat about in the last 12 months was I wasn't really connecting with people apart from just being online. And now Facebook's great, and it can connect you with a wide variety of people. I mean, I'm very active on the Scale Modeler Critique group, which is a really diverse group of very talented, extremely well talented modelers, very opinionated ones too, which is good because they call you out on your opinions, and they still get me about the fact that I love doing wheels up. And then I've got Harry's group, the Fokker, the Rivet Counters, which is the other end of the spectrum, where it's talented modelers, but they're all there just for the fun of it and for the, here, just show your stuff off, and oh wow, that's great. So that's good, but it's not a good enough connection to me, and that's why when I said I love going to competitions, it was having that face-to-face stuff. So the next best thing to mindlessly tapping on the internet on Facebook is YouTube. So connecting with the people out there and putting the videos out, because I felt when I was doing YouTube, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed showing how I was trying to do stuff, how I was trying to improve myself. So that's why I'm back. I just want to, like I said, this hobby is all about enjoying it, and I'm hoping that the stuff that I do, which I hope is going to be a little bit different to what you can see out there, and it has been in the past, but I'm trying to get better at what I'm doing and try to be even more different. Is that a word? Differenter? Better? Whatever. That's why I'm back. So I'll just quickly rattle off my plans for next year, and they're all probably going to go to shit, as plans always do. Well, what's that saying? Plans are great until they meet the enemy, and the enemy for me is time. I just don't have much time, kids, work, family life, the whole thing, but I'm really going to push to it, because the great thing about YouTube is, and I'm not going to commit myself to a weekly video, a monthly video, or whatever. I'm just going to put them out when they're done, okay? But at least it's there to say, hey, look, you're filming something, chuck it together, put it on YouTube. At least you're showing that you're doing stuff, and when you look back on it yourself, and that's what this is all about, because to be honest, it's a selfish endeavour doing YouTube, I reckon it is, and I don't mean that in a bad way, selfish as in it's really good for yourself, is yeah, it just helps you increase that enjoyment. So again, I'm rabbiting on. You can tell I haven't been doing this for a while. I'm not going to do much face-to-face stuff, because as you see, I have a face for radio. So most of it's going to be, and it's just down here actually, kick in the box. Harry's helped me with an overhead camera setup, so I'm going to do most of my videos are going to be just overhead or to the right, full build and on my spray booth as well, so you'll have the full, you can see everything that I'm doing. That's what I'm going to focus on going ahead. So you can see I've got some stuff here in the background. I'm just going to go over what I plan to do, at least in the new year. Right, YouTube 2020, it's going to be mainly aircraft and sci-fi. As you can see behind me, I've got a display of the sort of stuff that I'm going to get into. One of the ways that I'm going to try to do this year is double builds. So you can see I've got the 2 F-14s and I've got 2 Star Destroyers there. The idea is, and I've got a few more over there, you can't see. The idea is I do one build out of the box, or almost out of the box, so that means that, you know, nothing fancy, no added parts, so on and so forth. But the other one, you really stretch, can I in camera here? You really stretch the envelope, you know, add lots of extra parts, or you modify the kit a lot, or whatever. And then the idea is at the end of the video, end of the build series, compare the two, see what you can get out of that kit by just doing or doing whoa. So that's one way I'm going to do it. The other way is I've got 2 major projects here I've been working on for a long time. The Academy 148 CH53E and the Trumpeter A6A Intruder. Big projects, big kits, thrown everything at them. I've only just basically started each. But what I'm going to do is a long form series of just show how I'm going, as I'm going, and you know, it might take me all year, so just wait out on those ones. Alright. Now when it comes to armour, I do have one kit in mind. Can you see the BT7 up there? I'm not completely getting out of armour. There's the BT7. I don't know if that's in focus. It's a battered old kit. But yeah, that's the only armour kit that I really want to do this year. But I intend to do something a bit different with that, and it involves water. So I might need to do an experiment with how to do water effects before I do that one. So again, I'll try to film that. Okay. Now what else is there? Sci-fi. Okay, got the Star Destroyers. I'm hoping to do another Millennium Falcon. I finished one last year, just the 144 scale ones. I've got 2 more that I really want to do. So hopefully I can show those. And again, one of those, no, both of them are heavily modified. So that won't be out of the box build. So there's that, and there's a few other Bandai things. I mean, the thing I love about Bandai Star Wars is that they're so easy to put together. Like, there's no seam filling, there's no problems with that sort of stuff, by and large. That you can really ramp up if you really want to throw your imagination at things. And this is why I love sci-fi and doing what ifs and really weird and wonderful things, including, can you see it? Hang on. A B-29 float plane. More on that later. So that's I've only just started that. That's for Harry's group build. So where was I? Sci-fi, weird, wonderful things. I really love that stuff because I've found that the most success I've had on one end of the spectrum with modelling is, and for example, I won a gold medal. I was shocked about that. Was the Porsche tractor that I did, and I did that exactly to the reference photos, and I was able to laser-like focus straight on the reference photos. And again, when I did my Argentinian armoured car thingy, again, that was a real, actual vehicle in the real world, lots of reference photos, and I built it exactly as I could to those references. Got a lot out of that, but a whole other end of the spectrum, if you do sci-fi and weird stuff and what ifs, let your imagination go. You don't have to be constrained by that. So I love those 2 ends of the spectrum. So for where was I? I don't know. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I'm really hoping to show those things on the YouTube as well. I have another project just sticking up there. I had a camera that I'm doing with my kids over the summer, which is armour, kind of. And it's really strange. And no, it's not an egg tank, even though they do have some egg tanks to build, because the kids are really getting into modelling, although I'm giving them some Lego as well to enjoy themselves with. Some days I wish I could do Lego. Don't you wish you could do Lego? Get one of those big Technic kits. Oh, that'd be fun. Anyway, where was I? So yes, that one is a tankish, armourish sort of build. Hopefully be finished over the summer holidays, so that might be a very soon to be video. What else? I think that's about it, actually. Just let me check my notes and I'll get back to you and we'll wrap up this whole video. So that's basically my outline, my plan, see how it goes in the new year. I'll wrap it up there because my dog's waiting for me to take her for a walk. She's pacing around the office and wondering what's going on. Why am I talking to a camera again? It's been a while. So I hope those of you who have been waiting patiently for me to do some stuff, come along for the ride. We'll have a bit more fun, see what's in store. And those who are new to the channel or have never seen this gummy face before, welcome. And yeah, let's go on towards 2020. Happy modelling. God, a fucking rabbit on. Jesus.